It's gotten hostile over the past few years, I believe, right?
It's ticked up. It's been a gradual thing, and not to sit here and be like, both sideism, but it really is. Both sides have become sharp in their vitriol and have created a platform or an environment where, in order to even have an adequate conversation, you have to like cut through all of the associations or assumptions or presumptions and all of this crap that has, for me, a lot of the time, nothing to do with me, nothing that I've said, nothing that I believe in, but I still have to like cut through it to even have that real conversation. And I think that's something people just don't even want to do. Because that's effort.
Well, and that's I always talk about Marxism, right? So that's actually a product of Marxist ideology. So viewing everyone in terms of their group, you're just a puppet for your group. You're not, Zach the individual who has his own thoughts and opinions. You're white guy.
Yeah.
Well, all white guys think this way.
Yeah.
You're conservative. All conservatives think this way.
Oh, yeah.
And it can happen on both sides,
Sure.
right? You view, someone else who's shaking their fist in the air for social justice, and it's hard not to immediately assume they're a full-blown communist, and I fall prey to that myself. So
Sure.
it's important to think like, think of the individual, right? It's sovereignty of the individual, not the group, right?
And that's what a lot of philosophy in my life has reminded me of, is the individual, and how an empowered, strong, educated individual creates a more prosperous collective. And I think that's how for me, that's how I always articulate to people that are collectivists, is that strong individualism is the best form of collectivism you can have, because you have not just self-reliance, self-governance, but the ability to now go outside of yourself, because your house is in order. Now you can care about others. If your internal house is a mess, but you're sacrificing it all for the greater good, the greater good usually is not a good at all. It's usually a crappy situation that turns out worse for everybody. So it's way, and I was on the speech and debate team in college, and that was one thing that I benefited a lot from, was that perspective and understanding, like, where are they coming from? Where are people coming from? And understanding that there are so many similarities, and not just in the philosophy itself, but how you articulate it. How can we accomplish something that we both care about, that your approach may be different, but this approach still accommodates your want? And it's just teaching people different alternatives.
Well, and it's from what I can take away from you, it's a sense of empathy, right? And I think there's a lot of people who get into the world of politics or psychology, like myself, who, you grew up wanting to help other people and wanting to understand how they tick, right? And like naturally you end up going in those realms and fields, but it's important that you're understanding that trait. That way you can continue that and not just get into these heated political battles and think that this person who disagrees with you is the complete enemy and will bring the world
Evil.
towards hell.
Yeah,
Exactly. Right.
No, you're absolutely right. And that's something that we, you hear people talk to each other, or how they talk about each other, calling them evil or
The enemy.
enemy. And it's like, bruh, like, they're your neighbors. Yeah. Like, stop it, knock it off. Because it's almost like we need adults in the room, because now the kids are taking over the classroom, and it's becoming nonsense. You've got people are saying things that don't even make sense. Yeah. And it's like, then they, because of their pride, they double down on it. And it's like, you're doubling down on nonsense. What do we do? Where are we at?
Yeah. So, it's not productive, right?
No, it's completely counterproductive.
Yeah.